All right, welcome back, everybody. Guess who we have back? Martine Cadet. And you guys loved her. So I told Martine, you have to come back because people want more.
Thank you so much. I'm excited to be here and I'm excited to give you more in regards to Facebook groups, something that I'm so passionate about. And so I'm ready to dive in.
And today we are talking about how to turn your Facebook group into a lead generation machine. And we're diving really, really deep and showing you the step-by-step process. So Martine, take it away.
Oh, I love it. Yes, that is the tool that you need in regards to making sure that you're actually turning your social media into a money-making activity for yourself, right? Having your own community using Facebook, and that is a private Facebook group, gives you the opportunity to handpick a selection of people that's already saying, yes, I love what you have, but yet they want to know more about you. And so, you know, that know, like, trust factor that you hear on social media, well, that happens pretty easily inside a Facebook group because you get to show up as an expert. And so how do you make it so that it actually brings you money, right? And here's the thing. I say this to my clients all the time. We're looking for two things online when we're marketing. We're looking for clients, and we're also looking for great business collaborations and opportunities so that you can be in front of more people. And so being inside a community, whether it's your own or another community, a Facebook group community that is, it's going to give you the opportunity to connect with your future clients or connect with a new business opportunity that's going to lead you in front of other people. The most important thing here for your Facebook, private Facebook group to really shine and make money for you, for your business, is to really hone in on the fact that you have to create content for it that's going to trigger great conversation within your community. And so you want to make it top of mind for you, for your Facebook group, to create questions, for example, or captions, right, for your post inside your private group that's going to invite your community members to say, oh my God, totally right. I get this. I feel it too. This was me, or this is me. Like, start having those conversations and really want to know your members so that you can craft what you know they need, because your members came in your community knowing what they want, but they don't know what they need. You know what they need. But in order for you to be able to build that relationship and telling them, hey, I know what you need because I heard about what you want, you got to start that conversation, right? But essentially, it's all about taking a step back and really thinking as the facilitator of your group, as the admin of your group, that you want your audience to have the space and feel safe to say something, right?
Yeah, that's a big thing, right? Because a lot
Yes.
of people, they get shy in Facebook groups and they kind of don't really want to speak up because maybe they feel like they don't have something valuable to say or they don't know how to start those conversations. So you as the facilitator, if you are posting posts that, easily activate those conversations, it gets people to engage and they feel safe to do so. So can you then give us an example of something that people can post that really has done well for you in the past in terms of the engagement?
Whenever you give the opportunity for people to say, something about their business, their life, their things they don't like, they will say something. And so, believe it or not, questions such as, my birthday is September 19. When is yours? That went viral inside my community. Everybody
Wow.
wanted to share their birthday. And come to find out, within the thread, you had other members saying, that's my birthday too. Oh my gosh, let's connect. And they started to really feel comfortable, right? Another question, that you probably have come across, or if you're new to Facebook, you will see it. Where are you from? Right? Roll call. Where are you from? Where are you in the world? That's always a great question. Why? Because people want to know where people are and they want to connect. Everybody's craving for that connection. And so great questions like that are awesome. And I'd say questions that you also want to make sure that they are aligned with your expertise expertise are important, but make them very, very simple. I'll give you an example of one that went viral in my group. I'm a social media content coach and creator. And what I do is I help my clients with social media and creating great content. And so I didn't want to keep posting, where are you in the world? Or what's your name? Right. I also want to showcase my expertise and get to know my members. That's what I want for you as well. When you have your group, get to know your people. And so I posted inside my group a question like, I think it was Instagram Live or Facebook Live, yay or nay. Right?
Mhm.
Very simple. Yes or no.
Yeah.
Right. And then the members started responding. So it's not like I'm selling them anything. Right. And then when they start responding, like, I love doing Facebook Lives. I come in and I reply, I'm like, those are great. Where do you do them the most? On your Facebook profile or your business page? Right. And
Mhm.
I start that conversation, and other members see the conversation. They're learning from it. I've
Mhm.
had people in the group commenting saying, I'm loving this thread. I'm learning so much, right? Just by having the conversation. Having a community on Facebook, a private group, that is, it's like having a party in your living room and inviting a bunch of people that are about the same message, and you're just chatting it up. I think a lot of us get caught up with, wanting to make it that machine, to
Or
make
being
money
overly
run that first.
strategic about it, right? Like it's like strategy,
Exactly.
strategy.
Yeah.
But speaking of strategy, like let's say you did want to be strategic and you kind of wanted to figure out if your ideal client is in there. So if you're doing, social media marketing or something, if we could use another example, but to say to ask a question that's gonna highlight who could be potentially your client, so that way you can follow up with them. Can you give us an example of one of those?
Absolutely. I would highlight the question around the pain point that you know that your ideal client has, right? Like for instance, I would say, or even a post. Let's say you have a picture of you by the computer or whatever it is, and then in the caption, right, you share those pain points that you know that your client has, and you share the transformation that you were able to overcome, and you do the invitation with your call to action in the caption saying, this is why I created this freebie, or this is why next week I'm going to go live for the next 5 days to help you with this, or this is why I've put together this course. Put me in the comments. Let me know if you are interested in finding out more, or feel free to message me, because some people, like you said, are shy and are like, I don't want my business out there. I don't want to say me and everybody's going to know I have that problem,
Yeah.
right? And a lot of us have groups that are very around sensitive subjects, right? And
Mhm.
people may not want to talk about certain things, even though they can, relate to the question. And so I always encourage to say, make your members know that it's okay to message you directly if they don't want to engage in the post itself. But it's about, sharing that struggle within that post. Like for instance, most recently, I shared a post inside my group saying, do you remember how it felt when you were on social media and you had no clients and you were marketing like crazy, right? It's great because I have a lot of people commenting, yes, I remember, and now I'm great. But there are people that are saying, I'm still there, right? And those are my clients,
Yeah.
right? And so I can identify. And then you can also poll. You could do the poll in the Facebook group. You have the opportunity to poll, and
Yeah.
so you can, do a very simple one. You can even, I would say push the bar here, and when you do the poll, you have the opportunity to put an image. Right? An image next to that
Mhm.
answer, because people are very visual and
Yeah.
they're scrolling through the feed. And so I've done that before, where I did a poll asking my audience, because I wanted to do a challenge inside my group, but I
Mhm.
wasn't sure if I wanted it to do it on Facebook or on Instagram, as the topic. And so I polled the group and I said Instagram, and I put the Instagram logo. I said YouTube, and I put the YouTube logo. And so it's visually, Facebook gave us that
Yeah.
option, might as well use it. And
Perfect.
so I would poll, I would make
Wait,
sure
wait,
to,
wait. What happened with that poll? Because I'm curious now.
oh, well, that one, I believe, yeah, it landed on Facebook.
Okay.
On Facebook, because that's how I did my 5-day training in regards to Facebook. And then the second runner up was Instagram, and YouTube was the third.
One for Facebook. But do you think it would make a difference, and a little off topic, but would it make a difference like where you're doing these polls? Like let's say, for example, you do a poll on Instagram and you say, Instagram or Facebook. Do you think most people would then say Instagram because they're seeing the poll on Instagram?
That's a good question, only because I did a poll on LinkedIn
Yeah.
once, and a similar one where I said Facebook group, Instagram support, content
Mhm.
marketing, and LinkedIn. Did I put? No, I didn't put LinkedIn. I put Instagram and Facebook. That's it,
Yeah.
and it was on LinkedIn, and so they responded there. Now, could it be? Sure, that
Mhm.
people are going to see the poll inside Facebook and are like, yeah, I need help with Facebook. But the thing about the community, it's about social media overall.
Yeah.
So we are wanting support for Pinterest. We are wanting support for Instagram and all the social platforms. And so I'm sure if I redo this poll and I put Pinterest as an option, we'll get some takers.
Yeah, for sure. And what I like about it is the simplicity. It's like it doesn't have to be this complicated question, right? It's
Okay.
just like A or B, right? And then people
Absolutely.
can simply answer,
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
not
Because
threatening in any way.
yeah. No, I love that you mentioned it's so important because, I always say this, and it could be because of my corporate background in product management, where I had to think about the product before it was created. I always say this: we have to put ourselves in the consumer's shoes. And so, your members inside your group, they're not necessarily going on Facebook and going in your group. They're
Yeah.
scrolling through the timeline. They're seeing sponsored posts. They're seeing, all of these other posts. And so you want to make it as easy as possible for them to want to interact, you know, as long as the algorithm serves them your content, right? Which it will, as long as you work it, right? You
Mhm.
engage yourself. But to your point, you want to make sure that, as they scroll, it's a stop right there when they see whatever it is that you shared. So do everything that you can to be creative as much as you can. Like, by that I mean, for me, I use emojis, even making sure, like on Facebook and Facebook groups, we have the opportunity to edit our captions, to bold
Mhm.
them, to make them smaller, create quotes. And there's a reason why Facebook did that. It's because they know they want to prioritize communities. And so when your members scrolling through their home timeline,
Mhm.
they could see, ooh, that's a different post
Yeah.
because it's bold, and it's eye-catching.
Okay. So you mentioned engagement. So let's go back to engagement and actually the step-by-step process of what happens after people are starting to engage in these questions. And then how do you actually turn them into a lead and a client?
Love that. And so engagement is key, obviously, for your Facebook group to be this great machine, right?
Mhm.
And so you don't want to prioritize selling and offering them. You really want to put yourself in the position of, let me hear them out first. Where are they? So you can carry on naturally this conversation. And so what I recommend is that you ask for permission. Like, even when I run, I would post a post about an upcoming workshop that I
Mhm.
have, and I would say, for example, we'll put it into context. I would post, I have a workshop coming up in regards to Facebook, right?
Mhm.
Put a yes in the comments if you're interested. People would say yes. And I would go ahead and reply to those yes and say, amazing, awesome. Let me know if that's okay with you for me
Mhm.
to message you the link, right?
Okay.
I let them give me the permission. It's like that
Mhm.
double opt-in, in a
Yeah,
way.
yeah,
You
yeah.
said yes, let's make sure,
Yeah.
and really get them to commit to the answer. And even when you're inside other groups, when
Mhm.
you're having those conversations and you could tell that that could be a potential client, that they're asking questions that you can
Mhm.
help them with, I would encourage to also say, you know what, I would love to message you. Is that okay? I have more information for you. Ask for that permission and bring it inside the DMs and have that genuine interaction and offer the service that you have. Selling is serving. And so you're helping them out.
Right. Now, if so you answer them within the thread itself, right? In order to take, okay. So then oftentimes on Facebook, you might have to do a friend request first before you can actually message them, but you're letting them know that they're going to be in the, you're going to be in inbox. So they're kind of looking out for that.
That's right. That's right. And to your point, you can even say that in your message of the post and say, I'm going to message you. Make sure that you check your
Yeah.
request box just in case we're not friends yet.
Yes.
Like I do that. It's I'm being honest. It's true. Like it's
Yeah.
gonna get in your message, or sometimes I go back into the thread after messaging them. I go
Mhm.
back, say, I just sent you a message. I just,
Perfect.
so that way they
Yeah.
have that notification and they know to check.
Exactly. Because I know from personal experience, when it does go into the other inboxes, sometimes it takes me weeks to actually see the message. So it's always good to let them know when you're actually going to be messaging them. So that's perfect.
Absolutely.
So when you actually do the message and you send them the message or you send them the freebie or whatever it is that you sent them to help them out, how do you go from that to actually getting them engaged in a, let's call it a sales conversation, to actually close them and get them to be your client?
Yes, definitely. And so what usually happens, we have that conversation. They share with me because I ask, where
Mhm.
are you now? What are you? I want to listen. I want to hear where they are because I
Yeah,
want to make sure I can help them too.
of course.
And I lead them and say, this is exactly something that I know that I can transform you with, like help you get to what you
Mhm.
want. Let's carry on this conversation. I invite them to carry on the conversation by meeting me. Let's meet on my discovery call, Zoom call, whichever call that you call your call. But really inviting them and say, let's get together so we can dive in a little bit more and see if I'm a great fit for you. Because from what I can hear, it sounds like a lot of what I have to offer can actually serve you to get you where you want to be, which is what you
Mhm.
exactly, and repeat what they said they want. And more often than not, that's what happens on my side. And sometimes I get, people that says, where's the link to pay? That's happened to me a few times. They're like, oh yeah, no, we don't need to meet. Where do I book? When do we go? When do we start?
Nice.
And so you want to be prepared. You want to have all your links prepared. And then if they're not ready, if they say, what, I'm not ready yet, I would love to talk, I'm busy and whatnot, make it a note to yourself to follow up. Okay. And write it down, like use Facebook Business Suite, on your desktop so that you have a more a better visual of all your messengers,
Mhm.
so that way you could, because the money is in the follow-up.
And I love the transparency because you do say to them, let's hop on a call to see if I'm a good fit, to work with me or whatever. So they don't think that they're just getting on a call just to kind of continue the chat, but rather to see if, they should work with you. And that's also a great way for, the business owner not to, waste their own time if the person's not looking to potentially hire you for your services or your coaching.
100%. And talk about transparency, even in the DM, when I have those conversations and they ask me, how much is it to invest in you, I tell them it's on my
Yeah.
website. I tell
Yeah.
them, I'm like, I have not that when you go, to the store, it's there, the price is there, I'm going to tell you. For me, that's how my business changed, is by being completely honest with the leads that came through my Facebook group and really telling them what I can and cannot do, because sometimes they come and ask me things and I'm like, yeah, that's not going to work. But I have someone else that can help you, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Perfect. Well, thank you so much, Martine. And okay, guys, so if you want to get Martine's freebie, I'm going to link that in the link below, as well as her Instagram. And also, I'm going to put a link to the video that I did with Martine a couple of months ago, where she talks about how to grow a thriving Facebook group. So that's going to be right here. So until next time, bye for now.